Yeah, Blake, just going into spring ball, what are kind of points of emphasis for you as you look to build off last season?
So definitely consistency. My main focus area is definitely right hash and 40 to 49, just based off of statistics from last year. But yeah, the approach is definitely the same as it was last spring for me. Just definitely want to focus on those emphasis areas. So.
Is there anything with that part of the field that makes it more complicated or difficult, or what kind of goes into that?
Oh, no, not necessarily. I think kind of just how the cookie crumbled, in the season, and obviously we've taken a look at it, watched a bunch of film, I've reviewed a bunch of notes on it and everything, and yeah, like I said, the approach is the same.
We've seen you out here punting a little bit so far. Just what's your familiarity with that, and how's that been going?
So I punted a little bit in high school. I played goalkeeper in soccer, and I kind of have like a natural knack for it as well, and I enjoy it. It's fun. It's something new. But yeah, kind of look at Connor to improve at that. So, yeah.
Like, how's this off season different from last year? I mean, going into 2024, it was about following Harrison Mevis and stuff like that. So how's it different this time around?
I don't think it's any different. I would say that not having someone older than you is a little bit different, but I want to step into that leadership role, and like we have a couple of young guys that I want to take kind of under my wing and show them the right way to do things, and I think that's important for me.
Blake, you said after the bowl game that you black out when you go out and try kicks. On a similar note, how do you think your mental process has maybe changed or improved since this time last year?
Definitely just I've grown up. I've dealt with those situations in game. Just having that year under my belt is obviously important, but I will say that my mental game is just something that I focus on every day. Like, I go through a lot of mental reps, and I think that is very important for me to do. So.
Like, what do you feel like a guy like Connor has brought to the special teams unit so far?
Connor's a great guy. He's one of my best friends already. He's very focused, one of the hardest workers that I know already. He's definitely proving himself, and he has the same kind of approach that I do, is that you kind of have to put your head down and just try to improve every day.
You mentioned kind of the mental reps you go through. What's that like? How do you go through a mental rep?
So I like to call it like visualization. It's something that I do. I can do it in bed before I go to bed and just kind of close my eyes and think about it, or I can kind of go out on the field here and like step it out and visualize it, and not have to actually put my foot on the ball. But I go through a detailed approach of like my whole checklist of taking my steps, eyes down, looking up, seeing where I'm going to kick it, and then actually going through the kick in my head. So.
Like, what have you seen for some of these other specialists with roster spots changing around college football and changes there? What have those conversations with other specialists kind of look like?
Obviously, we have like 4 specialists right now, 4 or 5, and it's definitely a change. But I think that having less guys in the room just means that we got to be more focused, and like in our meetings and everything, it feels like there's no one in there when we're meeting, but I think everyone's just so locked in on what they want to do. So culture's very good in the specialist room right now. So.
Any other questions for Blake? Great. Thanks,
Appreciate
Blake.